Ladies, listen to me carefully. A man might act strong. He might act confident. He might walk around like he invented confidence itself. When it comes to intimacy, that same man becomes vulnerable, and most women don't even realize it. Men crave verbal reassurance and emotional validation far more than most women realize, especially during moments of intimacy. A man can appear confident in his daily life, decisive at work, steady among friends, and emotionally reserved in public. Intimacy has a way of stripping away that outer armor. In those private moments, he is not thinking about his job title, his responsibilities, how strong he looks to the world. He is thinking about one core question: am I enough for her? That question sits quietly in the background of his mind, even if he would never admit it out loud. When a woman offers verbal reassurance, she answers that silent question. Simple words of affirmation can settle insecurities he has carried for years. Many men are conditioned to believe they must perform, provide, and protect at all times. They feel pressure to excel, especially in intimate situations, because society often ties their worth to their ability to satisfy and lead. When you verbally express that you feel good, that you feel safe, that you enjoy being with him, you remove that pressure and replace it with confidence. Confidence changes everything. A reassured man becomes more attentive, more present, and more emotionally open. Emotional validation goes even deeper than performance. It tells him that he is not just physically desired, but emotionally valued. When you communicate pleasure and connection through your words, you are telling him that he matters to you in that moment. You are not just sharing a physical experience, you are sharing trust. And trust is powerful to a man. When he feels trusted, he relaxes. When he relaxes, he becomes more genuine. When he becomes genuine, intimacy transforms from something mechanical into something meaningful. Many women underestimate how much men listen during these moments. Even if he seems focused, even if he doesn't respond verbally every time he is paying attention, he notices tone, he notices enthusiasm, he notices sincerity. If your words feel forced or detached, he senses it. But when your reassurance is natural and heartfelt, it strengthens his emotional security. That security carries beyond the bedroom. A man who feels validated intimately often becomes more affectionate, more communicative, and more invested outside of it. Verbal reassurance also builds emotional safety. Just as women often need to feel emotionally secure before they fully open up physically, men need to feel emotionally accepted to truly give themselves in intimacy. When you affirm him, you create a safe space where he does not have to question himself. He does not have to wonder if he measures up to someone from your past or an unrealistic standard. In that safety, vulnerability grows. And vulnerability is the foundation of deep connection. Another powerful aspect of reassurance is that it strengthens the bond between partners. Words spoken in private moments linger. They echo in his mind later. They remind him that he is desired and appreciated. That memory fosters attachment. It makes him feel chosen. Feeling chosen is incredibly important to a man's heart. It tells him he is not just convenient, not just available, truly wanted. At its core, verbal reassurance during intimacy is not about flattery or exaggeration. It is about authenticity. It is about expressing what you genuinely feel. When your words align with your emotions, they carry weight. They reassure his insecurities, validate his efforts, and deepen emotional intimacy. In doing so, you transform a physical experience into a meaningful connection that strengthens both of you. Appreciation boosts his confidence and performance in ways that many women don't fully recognize. A man's confidence during intimacy is not automatic, even if he carries himself boldly in everyday life. In those private moments, he becomes highly aware of how he is being perceived. He may not say it, he may not show it, but he is paying attention to your reactions, your expressions, your energy. He wants to know that what he's giving is being received well. He wants to feel effective, capable, and satisfying to you. And appreciation is the fuel that drives that confidence. When a woman verbally appreciates a man during intimacy, she strengthens his sense of competence. Men are wired to feel purposeful. They want to feel like they are accomplishing something meaningful, even in emotional and physical closeness. If he senses hesitation, silence, or emotional distance, doubt can creep in. Doubt affects rhythm, focus, and emotional presence. But when he hears genuine appreciation, when you express enjoyment, excitement, or approval, his confidence rises. And a confident man becomes more attentive, more creative, and more emotionally connected. Appreciation is different from exaggeration. It is not about dramatic statements or unrealistic praise. It is about honest acknowledgement. When you communicate that you enjoy his touch, that you value the way he makes you feel, or that you love being close to him, you affirm his effort. That affirmation reassures him that he is meeting your needs. And when a man feels that he is meeting your needs, he naturally wants to give more. Confidence and performance are deeply connected. A man who feels unsure may become distracted by his own thoughts. He may start questioning whether he is doing enough, whether you are satisfied, whether he is comparing well to some invisible standard. Those internal questions pull him out of the moment, but appreciation quiets that inner noise. It centers him. It tells him he is doing well. That calm assurance allows him to focus fully on you instead of on his fears. Appreciation also strengthens emotional intimacy. When you express positive feedback, you are not only affirming his physical actions, but also his emotional presence. You are saying, in your own way, I see you, I value what you're giving me. That recognition builds trust. Trust deepens connection, and deeper connection enhances the overall experience for both of you. Another powerful effect of appreciation is motivation. A man who feels appreciated becomes eager to please. Not out of obligation, but out of desire. He wants to continue creating those positive reactions. He wants to maintain that connection. When appreciation is present, intimacy becomes collaborative instead of one-sided, becomes an exchange of energy rather than a performance under pressure. Silence can sometimes be misunderstood. While quiet intimacy can be meaningful, consistent lack of verbal affirmation may leave him guessing. Appreciation doesn't have to be constant, but it does need to be sincere and present. Even small acknowledgments can make a significant difference. A soft affirmation, an encouraging phrase, or a genuine compliment can shift the entire atmosphere. Ultimately, appreciation reinforces his sense of worth in that shared moment. It strengthens his belief that he is capable of satisfying and connecting with you. That belief fuels better emotional engagement and physical attentiveness. When a man feels valued, he performs not from anxiety but from confidence, and confidence transforms intimacy into something deeper, more connected, and far more fulfilling for both partners. Feeling desired is more powerful to a man than simply looking desired. Many people assume that men are satisfied by visual attraction alone, that as long as there is physical appeal, nothing more is needed. But the truth runs much deeper. A man does not only want to see that you are attractive or attractive to him, he wants to feel that you are genuinely drawn to him. There is a profound difference between being physically present and being passionately wanted. When a man feels desired, touches something at the core of his masculinity, it reassures him that he is not just accepted, but actively chosen. Being chosen carries emotional weight. It tells him that out of all possibilities, you want him. That sense of exclusivity strengthens his emotional connection and intensifies his focus. It shifts intimacy from routine to meaningful engagement. Desire expressed verbally carries enormous influence. A look can spark interest, but words confirm intention. When you communicate that you crave his closeness or that you love being near him, you eliminate uncertainty. Uncertainty can quietly erode confidence. Even the most self-assured man can question whether he is truly wanted or simply convenient in the moment. Clear expressions of desire remove that doubt and replace it with assurance. Feeling desired also deepens emotional vulnerability. Men are often taught to pursue, to initiate, and to lead in romantic situations. Because of this expectation, they can become accustomed to being the ones who show desire first. When a woman openly expresses her own longing, it balances the dynamic. It allows him to relax into the experience rather than feeling solely responsible for driving it. That shared energy creates mutual intensity rather than one-sided effort. There is also a psychological layer to desire. When you tell a man that you want him, you affirm his uniqueness. You signal that he has qualities that attract you specifically. That affirmation strengthens his emotional investment. He begins to associate intimacy not only with physical pleasure, but with emotional validation. Over time, this builds attachment. A man who consistently feels desired by his partner is more likely to remain emotionally engaged and committed. Desire does not need to be loud or dramatic to be powerful. In fact, subtle sincerity often carries more weight than exaggerated statements. A genuine tone, a deliberate expression of longing, or a heartfelt acknowledgement of how he makes you feel can resonate more deeply than elaborate language. Authenticity matters. Men are highly perceptive to sincerity in intimate moments. When desire feels real, it strengthens trust. Another important aspect is that feeling desired boosts initiative and attentiveness. When he senses that you truly want him, he becomes more invested in satisfying you. He moves with greater confidence because he knows his presence is welcomed. That confidence enhances emotional and physical harmony. Ultimately, being desired satisfies a deeper need than simple attraction. Attraction is surface level, desire is personal. Attraction can exist without connection, but desire implies emotional choice. When a man feels both physically and emotionally wanted, he experiences intimacy as affirmation of his worth. That feeling lingers long after the moment has passed, strengthening the bond and reinforcing the connection between you. Emotional connection makes physical connection stronger in ways that go far beyond the surface. Many people assume intimacy is primarily physical, but for a man who genuinely cares, the emotional layer is what gives the physical experience meaning. Without emotional depth, physical closeness can feel temporary or hollow. When there is emotional affirmation in the moment, it transforms the entire dynamic. It tells him that this is not just about bodies, but about bonding. A man may not always express how much emotional connection matters to him. He feels it deeply. When you communicate closeness, trust, and affection during intimate moments, you reinforce that the experience is shared, not transactional. Words that reflect emotional presence, words that show you feel safe, connected, and engaged create a sense of unity. That unity strengthens his attachment and deepens his investment in the relationship. Emotional connection builds vulnerability. Vulnerability is something many men struggle to access openly. Society often teaches men to guard their emotions, to stay composed, and to avoid appearing too sensitive. But intimacy naturally lowers those defenses. In that vulnerable space, emotional affirmation becomes powerful. When you express genuine closeness, when you let him know that being with him makes you feel connected, you create an environment where he can relax emotionally. He no longer feels like he has to perform strength. He can simply be present. That presence enhances everything. A man who feels emotionally connected is more attentive, more intuitive, and more focused on mutual pleasure rather than personal validation. Emotional affirmation shifts his mindset from proving himself to sharing an experience. Instead of thinking about how he is being judged, he thinks about how he can deepen the bond between you. That shift creates more meaningful intimacy. Emotional connection also strengthens trust. Trust is the foundation of lasting intimacy. When you verbally express affection or closeness, you are reinforcing that you are emotionally available in that moment. He feels seen and accepted. That acceptance reduces anxiety and increases confidence. A confident and emotionally secure man engages more openly and responds more genuinely. Another important element is reassurance of exclusivity and importance. When you communicate that being with him feels special, you are reinforcing that he is not interchangeable. Men value significance. They want to feel that they hold a meaningful place in your life. Emotional words spoken in private moments can solidify that feeling. They can remind him that he is chosen, valued, and emotionally important. Emotional connection also extends beyond the bedroom. When intimacy is rooted in genuine feeling, it carries into daily interactions. A man who feels emotionally bonded during private moments often becomes more protective, more affectionate, and more communicative outside of them. The emotional depth shared during intimacy strengthens the overall relationship dynamic. Physical connection may spark desire, emotional connection sustains it. When words of affection, trust, and closeness are present, they elevate the experience from something temporary to something lasting. Emotional affirmation creates a deeper rhythm between two people. It allows both partners to feel secure, valued, and connected in ways that pure physical interaction alone cannot achieve. Simple, sincere words matter more than dramatic ones, especially in moments of intimacy where authenticity carries more weight than performance. Many people believe that passion must sound exaggerated or cinematic to be effective, but the truth is that real connection responds to honesty, theatrics. A man can easily sense the difference between rehearsed lines and genuine emotion. When words feel scripted, they create distance. When they feel natural, they create closeness. In intimate moments, a man is not evaluating your vocabulary or expecting perfection. He is listening for sincerity. He wants to know that what you are expressing reflects what you truly feel. Overly dramatic language can sometimes feel performative, as if you are trying to meet an imagined standard instead of sharing your authentic reaction. But when your words are simple and heartfelt, they resonate deeply. Quiet, "I love being close to you," or "I feel good with you," can have far more impact than something exaggerated and artificial. Simplicity carries emotional clarity. Clear, direct expressions eliminate confusion. Men often appreciate straightforward communication because it removes guesswork. During intimacy, uncertainty can create distraction. If he is unsure how you feel, he may begin to question himself. But when your words are honest and uncomplicated, they provide reassurance. That reassurance strengthens his emotional presence. It allows him to focus on the shared experience rather than analyzing your reactions. Sincerity also builds trust. Trust is not only about loyalty, it is about emotional transparency. When you speak from a genuine place, you demonstrate openness. That openness invites him to lower his own defenses. Many men are cautious about revealing vulnerability, especially in emotionally charged situations. When they sense authenticity from you, it encourages them to respond with authenticity of their own. This mutual openness deepens connection in a way that dramatic language never could. Another powerful aspect of simple words is their memorability. Grand statements can blur together over time, but sincere expressions tend to stay in a man's mind. He remembers how you made him feel. He recalls the tone of your voice, the calm honesty behind your words. Those memories reinforce emotional attachment. They remind him that the connection was real, not staged. Authentic moments leave lasting impressions. Simplicity also reduces pressure. When intimacy becomes overly performative, it can create an unspoken expectation to match intensity at all times. That pressure can interfere with natural flow, but when the communication is grounded and genuine, it creates a relaxed environment. Relaxation enhances comfort, and comfort enhances pleasure. A man who feels at ease is more likely to be emotionally engaged and attentive. There is also strength in vulnerability. Simple words often require courage because they expose real feelings. Saying what you truly feel without embellishment reveals authenticity. That vulnerability can be incredibly attractive and meaningful. It shows confidence in your emotions and trust in the person you are sharing them with. A man who senses that level of honesty feels honored by it. Dramatic language may temporarily excite, but sincerity sustains connection. Passion does not need exaggeration to be powerful. In fact, authenticity often intensifies passion because it removes pretense. When both partners communicate honestly, the experience becomes more aligned, more harmonious. There is no need to act or impress, there is only presence. Men, despite stereotypes, value emotional truth. They want to feel that the intimacy they share is rooted in real desire and genuine feeling. When your words reflect your true emotions, they validate the experience. They tell him that what is happening matters to you. That validation strengthens his confidence and emotional investment. Simple, sincere communication creates a foundation of emotional security. It assures him that he is not engaging in a performance, but participating in a shared connection. It replaces doubt with clarity, tension with comfort, superficial intensity with meaningful depth. In the quiet honesty of genuine words, intimacy becomes more than physical interaction. It becomes an exchange of trust, affirmation, and authentic emotion that lingers long after the moment ends.